Hi guys, Mr. Tanner here, back in the Latin shed. I hope you're ready to learn a bit of Latin. So, as we are coming to the end of the first phase of our learning of Latin, we're going to fill in some gaps today in our understanding of verbs, and specifically fill in some endings in our verb table, so we will eventually know all three tenses that we've met so far with all 6 personal endings. So, all the way back at the start of your learning of Latin, you met sentences like Caecilius in tablino scribit. Caecilius is writing in the study. You know that Caecilius is third person singular. He's a he. There's only one of him, and he's not I, and he's not you. We're talking about somebody else. Later on, we met ego and tu, meaning I and you, those pronouns, and we met sentences like ego in tablino scribo and tu in tablino scribis. Latterly, we have met nos in tablino scribimus and vos in tablino scribitis. So we are writing in the study is scribimus in tablino, and you plural, you all, are writing in the study scribitis in tablino. Again, nos and vos are pronouns. You don't necessarily need them. They replace a noun, but they're there for emphasis rather than because they're absolutely crucial to the meaning of the sentence. It's the verb ending that tells you who is doing what. Now, we've seen the verbs table of standard endings which we applied to the present tense, and you may remember doing hand gestures, ost, must, tis, unt. Okay, here comes my way of remembering the person endings in Latin. So, you're going to need 2 thumbs for this. And 1 thumb is singular, but 2 thumbs are plural. And so it goes, first person singular, that's I, you, he, she, or it, we, you all, they. And those endings are O, S, T, mus, tis, unt. Can you repeat them with me? Let's do it again. O, S, T, mus, tis, unt. O, S, T, mus, tis, unt. You can do this. Okay? We also introduced tenses, and you will hopefully remember that tenses are done in Latin by using tense markers, these little bits that are infilled into the middle of our word between the stem, the general meaning of the word, and the person ending, who did it, so that if the verb is not in the present tense, you've got a couple of letters as a marker to tell you when it happened. So if it's imperfect, if it means was, then it's got ba, and if it's perfect, then it's probably got we. Okay, grab a pen and some paper, or however you normally make notes, because we're going to make a few notes in a table before we then go on to some examples. So, here is the full verbs table putting together all of the information that we've had previously. We've got the 3 tenses, present, imperfect and perfect, and we've got all the person endings, so I, you, he, she or it, we, you plural, and they. Present tense, we've got our ost, must, tis, unt endings that we expect. So these I've given you with ambulo, so the verb to walk. So it's ambulo, I walk, ambulas, you walk, ambulat, he, she or it walks. Ambulamus, we walk, ambulatis, you all walk, and ambulant, they walk. Now, moving into the imperfect tense, you can see the ba has been added in, so it goes ambular bam, ambular bas, ambular bat, ambular barmus, ambular bartis, ambular bant. That's all pretty regular. The only one that looks a bit wonky is ambular bam, but then ambular bow with an O on the end would be quite hard to say, so you can sort of see why Latin has gone a little bit awry there. Now then, when we get into the perfect tense, we've got the we marker that it's perfect, that it's ed, walked. We've still got ambula because it's still walk, and then we've got the endings. So, ambulawi, I walked. Ambulawisti, you walked. Ambulawit, he, she, or it walked. Ambulawimus, we walked. Ambulawistis, you all walked. And ambulawerunt, they walked. Now you may be looking at that and thinking that doesn't really fit quite so well with the pattern that we've seen elsewhere. But we've still got the t, mus, tis, unt endings. First person singular and second person singular, on the other hand, are less familiar to us, but that is the same pattern across every perfect tense verb. Isti it, imus istis erunt. If you learn those 6 endings in those forms, you will be absolutely fine. Make sure you copy that table down and learn its contents. Okay, now we're going to go on to some practice sentences that show us these various verb forms in action. We've got ego in colina coquebam sed tu in auto sedebas, vos graeci in templo dormi vistis, nos librum patri dedimus, mercatores togas feminis ostendebant, and ego discum atletae obtuli sed atleta non accepit. Have a go at translating those sentences into English. Pause the video now. Here come your answers. Ego in colina coquebam. I was cooking in the kitchen. Bam, I was. Sed tu in auto sedebas. But you were sitting in the garden. Bas, you were. Vos Graeci in templo dormi vistis. You Greeks slept in the temple. Vistis, perfect, second person plural ending. Nos librum patri dedimus. We gave the book to our father. Imus, we, perfect ending. The verb to give in Latin is irregular, so it's got this past tense where it's dedimus. It's from that same verb, do das dat, damus datis dant in the present tense, to give. Okay, fourth one. The merchants were showing togas to the women. Ostendebant, third person plural in the imperfect tense. And lastly, ego discum atletae obtuli. I offered the discus to the athlete, said atleta non accepit, but the athlete didn't accept it. Ferro is the verb to bring or carry, and ferro is very irregular, and so in the past tense it goes to tuli, so offero goes to obtuli. I hope you managed to successfully translate the verb endings in particular, and I hope you also managed to find all the vocabulary you're looking for in those sentences. Here's a table of the verb to be, again with the 3 tenses that you've currently learnt. Notice that the third one, the perfect tense, is greyed out. This fui form of the verb to be isn't very frequently found in Latin writing. They tend to stick to just the present and the imperfect for that kind of state of being. So, I am, you are, he, she, or it is, we are, you are, they are, sum est estis sunt. And then, nicely regular, eram, eras, erat, eramus, eratis, erant. I was, you were, he, she, or it was, we were, you were, they were. Those little words are going to crop up all the time. It's really important that you make the effort to learn those forms now so that you're not thrown by them when you see them in a story or in some sentences at a later date. Okay then. Hopefully now you can all identify all 6 persons of all 3 tenses of the Latin verbs that you have encountered so far. And we can therefore explain how to form the imperfect and perfect endings of Latin verbs, including the verb to be. So there you go. I hope that was useful to you. I'll see you again soon. Bye for now.